Blasphemy.
Freebird. Coming to you not quite live from Peanut Death Studios. I'm Sascha Saintevic. With me is Briano Hawk. Briano, say hello to the lovely people listening.
What's up?
So how have you been?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, doing great.
Yeah.
Got a little crane coming off the table there.
Yeah. We're trying the new setup with new mic stands and stuff, so yeah.
We're upgrading, hitting the big times in fine fashion. Apparently fine British fashion, since everybody seems to think I'm British for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, I give them a little. I should give a little bit of a background story. Anyone, when they hear my accent, it's northern German, but for some reason a lot of Americans think that it's British or something. I think it's because they can't quite place it, so they go to like the first place that they can think of, which is sort of like English or Australia.
It's not the accent that's confusing them, it's your pronunciation. You use the British pronunciation for everything. Because you're a Serbian who grew up in Germany who learned from an Australian British teacher, so you use British Australian terms and somehow you think that's American terms when you use them.
Why do you deny my Lithuanian heritage to me?
Yeah, Lithuanian,
Don't deny my Lithuanian, my Franco-Lithuanian heritage to me. It's very important. We're a strong but proud community.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, going on to the music issue now that we resolved the linguistics of my background, which I'm sure we'll tap into every time you make fun of the way I talk.
Yeah.
Which is quite often.
Yes, it is.
They're American. Mm-hmm. Damn Irish son of a bitch.
Yeah. So what? I'm proud of my Irish heritage.
Yeah, and I see you're wearing all green.
Yeah.
Obviously, you always got to flash it in front of all of us, don't you? Yeah, you got to just flash it in front of all of us.
Yep.
What are you so proud of? All your famines?
Sure.
Your constant civil wars?
Yeah, whatever. You just got to fight for something, can't we?
The fact that you're just envious of the Scottish?
Hey. I still have some Scottish in me, too.
No, you're just claiming that.
No, I do. It's, us Talaveras, we're horrors. We go everywhere. Yeah, we've been through it all.
Yeah, you wish you were, because then you could claim to be like the Sean Connery or something.
Yeah.
But there's only one Sean Connery.
Yep.
Even when he's Spanish.
Spanish.
I'm Spanish now.
Yep.
And now I'm Russian. I want to see him like do some really out there movie.
Well, he was in that one. Which one? Like Hunt for Red October, which is
where he played a Russian.
He was a Russian, yeah.
This is my authentic Russian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to see him play like Genghis Khan.
That would be funny.
Like John Wayne did.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I'm Genghis Khan now.
Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan.
But I was gonna bring up something to you. It pertains to your idol, Kurt Cobain.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a few years back, wasn't it, when the controversy hit about Courtney Love allowed some Nirvana songs to be played in some commercial, and some people said that goes against everything he stands for.
I don't remember.
Okay, a few years back there was some controversy because Courtney Love allowed some of his music to be used for some commercial. I don't remember if it was like selling cars or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
And some fans said like that goes against his entire anti-consumerism message.
Yeah.
And to me, it brought up an interesting point about how do we feel about people selling out? Like, do you think that there's a spectrum of people selling out? Like, there's like small scale selling out, because I've heard that too. They're like, okay, so you do a commercial for something, but let's say something you actually care about. For instance, like if we did a commercial for equipment we actually use around here.
Yeah.
Like the microphone brand or the audio mixer brand that we're actually using. We got our stuff off of sweetwater.com.
Yeah.
If we did a commercial for them, are we selling out? Or are we just more? But as opposed to if we did a commercial for like Wendy's.
Well, I mean,
you did Wendy's.
I think there's a difference between doing a commercial to make money and promoting a product. I mean, if we did a commercial for, Sweetwater because we use their products, or we use them as a means of getting our equipment and stuff, I think it'd be selling out in that sense that we're like just doing it because we want to get the money. But if we're just talking about them and we kind of like make a commercial in a sense from it, but we're just mentioning it, it's like, oh yeah, this is a good product, or this is what we use, so thank you to sweetwater.com, so on and so forth. I think that's a different thing. But it works in both ways, because yes, we do use them to, we got the mixer and stuff from them, but I mean, we also, don't have anything to do with them. And
but we mentioned the name like 3 or 4 times. We're not going to get a check for them. We really aren't making money off it. But a lot of times people will promote things sort of subtly, either on the podcast, the shows, through the music. And they won't disclose the fact that they're getting a check from those people. They'll just kind of mention like, listen to Audible.
Yes, they have their backers, they have their commercials and their things they say to make money off of them. And, a lot of the times it's, selling out, and in a sense, because of the fact that they're just doing it for the check. They're not doing it because of the love of the product or whatever.
But a lot of times it's necessity, because it pays the bills, because you and I both have day jobs, so we do this on the side. But some people, this is their life. This is their livelihood. This is how they make their money. So can you fault people for doing that? Going that route, they have to make money somehow, and usually advertisement is how they do it. So like when a musician, for instance, somebody that you respect, suddenly does a commercial for a Ford truck or something, like if the Foo Fighters suddenly start doing commercials for Ford or Toyota or something like that, would you think less of them for it, or would you just be like, well, they're just...
If the Foo Fighters were doing it, I think it'd be funnier than hell, because they'd be doing it more as a joke, I think.
Well, let's say they played it straight. They just played it straight.
Yeah,
no.
I understand
the Toyota, Dave Grohl goes out, says, the Toyota Camry is my kind of truck. I love it. You should get one yourself. And no joke, they're not like making fun of it or anything. They're just straight out going into selling this truck to you. Do you think less of him? Or do you just say, well, whatever, it's his thing?
Yeah, it's hard to say, because if he's actually promoting it because it's something he uses and he likes it.
No, let's say he just got a check.
The thing is, it's he's okay, cool. If it's like he's doing it because he wants the money and a check, we all want our money in a check, but it is selling out,
Right, but
that's the thing, is if it was any one of the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl and stuff, I think it would be something behind it. Like, it's more of a joke, because they're just kind of out there and they kind of do their thing, and it's funny,
But the reason why I bring this up is because just selling out has such a stigma amongst people, like the purists, the people who are like, no, your image is supposed to be, especially like if you have an image of like being kind of alternative, anti-establishment, you're not supposed to be part of the consumerist culture. So to do something like that, a lot of people, like, it tarnishes your image in a way, even though like you still give those fans the same thing that they always want, like, whether it's your music or movies, if you're an actor, they get the same sort of entertainment. The fact that you do this on the side, you do commercials for whatever, Hershey's chocolate, like, it doesn't really matter, which is why a lot of celebrities, they'll do commercials like overseas, but they don't do them here, like big time actors. Like, for some reason, doing them here, they feel like they would lower them. But if they do them like in Japan or something, like George Clooney can sell you crap in Japan, and so can Arnold Schwarzenegger. But if they do it here, they feel like their reputation has been.
Well, it's partly that. I think half of it is, if they do a commercial here, we don't see them as, they're just a commercial actor. They are, a big actor. They're, they do big time movies and stuff. So when they're doing commercials, you don't think of them as, doing that. You can't really see them doing that, because they're known as, big stars and stuff. You're like, well, why are they doing a commercial? Overseas, they have their own big time actors. They have their own stuff. Yes, they know Hollywood actors and stuff, but they don't get as many, movies or stuff that, get thrown down their throat in a sense with the actor as much. So they get the, chance to do their commercials and sell their, wasabi drink or whatever it is in Japan and stuff like that. So, there's a difference in that sense that, foreigners will see them differently, I think, than what we will. It's same thing for if a, foreign actor mainstream actor over there comes over here and does commercials. We don't really know who they are, so we're just like, okay, whatever. It's just an actor. It's a commercial actor.
Well, speaking as a foreigner, when you see that a big time Hollywood personality, or even someone an American music personality, whenever they do something, like we're fairly familiar with they are. Like the majority, as much as people here, like hipsters go apeshit for like foreign movies and foreign music.
Yeah.
In like Europe, I speak for Europe because that's why I grew up, Western Europe. We mostly listen to the same music here. We watch Hollywood movies. We think that our movies are boring as hell, and mostly they are. Like I can't stand watching a good chunk of them, and many of us didn't watch. When we go to the movie theater, we watched Casper, Space Jam, all that stuff.
That's the thing is, I know like foreigners, they watch American movies, and it's like I've heard it many times. Foreign films are boring, and American movies are a little more entertaining. They're
except for the British movies and comedies that we watch.
Yeah, but I mean, I've heard that multiple times through different people, and so yes, I know they see American actors or whatever.
Yeah, it's seen as a big deal. It's seen
normal,
like
they see them as big time actors.
Especially
it's the same thing as what we see them, and it's just in commercials they're able to get put into it because of the fact that they're not as big in a sense. Like if you go and see stuff in Japan, there's mainstream actors over there who've done American films, but they're bigger in China and Japan and everything. Like Jackie Chan was doing multiple foreign films, as we call it, but it was really just Chinese films and martial arts films and stuff. And he came over here, he got big, but he was really known over there. Like not a lot of people here in America know that Jackie Chan was a top-selling record artist at one point. He had songs, and he was actually, getting awards or whatever for singing. You don't know that here, but over there he did. He actually supposedly has a golden voice, in that sense, which is hilarious.
I've never heard any of his stuff. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, it's hilarious singing. But I mean, that's the thing is here Americans and we don't really know that, but over there, in China you'd know it because you've been around it. And same type of thing. Jackie Chan can't do a commercial over there and here now because he is more known, but he can if he wants to. Like recently, I just saw a commercial talking about rhinos. They said if you stop the killing of rhinos or stop the violence towards rhinos, then the rhino can come back. It was Jackie Chan. He did one. Then it was like 3 British people. Beckham and the king, or what's his name, William. And whatever.
Prince William,
yeah. This Prince William Beckham and another British dude talking about, stop killing the rhinos.
Prince William?
Yeah.
He's a hunter.
Yeah, which is funny. He's actually, that's the thing, is he was in a commercial talking about, stop killing the rhinos, and rhinos are, becoming endangered because of, the poaching and the killing and stuff.
That is true, yeah.
So they're actually doing, commercials against rhinos.
Well,
and the thing is here, it's like, okay, well, yeah, everyone knows Prince William. He's like, oh, he's, but I'm sure people in Britain and stuff are tired of hearing about him by now.
Well, the British family is funny because whenever like anything happens with them, like it's a big time social media event, and a lot of people here think like, wow, they're royalty. They're really more of a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
In the UK and for most of Europe, like the crowns mean nothing at this point, and I know there's still some more conservative elements in the UK who are more like like they feel some sort of historic cultural value in it, but as far as actual powers go, they really have no influence. They have a ceremonial position, as do the majority of there's still royal houses to a good chunk of Europe. Sweden still has one, I believe the Danish still have one.
Yeah.
Most of Scandinavian places still have one, but they're not taken seriously in any stretch. They just do like charity work. They show up doing ribbon ceremonies.
They're not as big as they used to be.
Yeah, they don't really have any real power. The parliament holds all the power.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing is it's
the celebrities.
It's a celebrity thing,
celebrity
status,
culture.
Yeah. But I mean, going back to just you
selling
said selling out. If an artist is promoting something just because it's the money, to make the money, right, and that it's just for the money, I think that is selling out in a sense. A lot of artists will do that because, especially when they're starting off, they want to make as much money as they can because everyone wants to make as much money as they can. you won't find many artists or, actors or anybody who is not going to turn down, or is going to turn down something, because doesn't believe in it. I was like, oh, you're paying me how much? I'll talk whatever you want, about it.
I'll eat your disgusting KFC chicken for this one photo shoot.
Yeah, it's whatever, from there. It goes from, so many different, aspects of things to not, to know what, if they're selling out or not, what they're doing. And it's like I said, you can't really find a lot of artists or whatever who are going to just turn down things unless they're, true punk. They'll a lot of them are anti-establishment and stuff, so they won't go after it.
They wouldn't even pursue money from those sort of avenues a lot of times, because a lot of times the reason why they do these commercials, like, you take a check any way you can because you need to. Like, you're not in a 9-to-5 job that has a set salary.
Yeah.
So, in like any paycheck you can get, if you're an artist, any sort of artist by any medium, like you have to diversify where you're getting your money from. Now, the line as to what's considered, let's say appropriate, what's not, what's selling out, what isn't, depends really what angle you're coming from. If you're a pop artist and you do a McDonald's commercial, like, NSYNC did, or a Burger King commercial like the Backstreet Boys did, nobody really cares. And like, nobody expects you to be any sort of like pure music angle. However, if somebody who is like a Nirvana in 1993 did a McDonald's commercial and they played it straight, it's not like a joke or anything, it would have been seen much more like, well, these guys are posers.
Yeah.
Which in some ways is the worst thing you can be called.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like I said, it really depends on the situation. Like, McDonald's or any food commercial and stuff like that, and the artists, musicians don't have anything to do with, that's in a sense selling out just for the money. But if they're selling a product that they actually use and something they believe in and stuff like that, there's a difference.
Right.
It still, can be seen as selling out, but it's still a difference in the sense that it's not like they're selling, cars. They're not doing a Ford commercial. Mm-hmm. They're selling like, products from Sweetwater or, musician's friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Or product they came up with, like the Jag stand.
Right. If
Kurt Cobain's guitar.
Uncle Tom's music shop down the corner.
Yeah.
If there is an Uncle Tom's music shop down the corner. Well, then, how do you feel about the more like the lesser known artists who try to promote themselves by any avenue they can? Like, they'll do Kickstarters, and they'll do like crowdfunding, and they'll do anything that they can get their hands on, sort of just to raise the money to do the things that they want to do.
That's the thing is, they're doing it to get themselves heard. They're trying to get more fans, things like that. People who are going to put money towards a band or fans, if it's a nobody, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to give so and so money. It's like if I put a Kickstarter out, no one knows me. They're not going to be, oh yeah, I'm going to give them money.
Right, you might get get like a handful of people that know you, throw you a few bucks, but that's pretty much it.
But that's it. So to make anything from stuff like that, you would have to have your fans know about it and hear it. And so, in that sense, I don't think it's selling out. You're trying to, give the fans more, but if you can't get the income that you need, you have to do all that stuff to give to the fans, give back in a sense.
Well, have you heard of a concept called e-begging?
No.
Okay, well, we'll quickly give just a quick explanation of that. Pretty much you're on the same time, because nowadays there is a profession known as, you can be an online personality. Whether it's you put in your music or you just do commentary or whatever. Yeah. Which in previous generations wasn't possible. So nowadays they have that. A lot of them, because that is the majority of what they do, they supplement their income by pretty much repeatedly saying, hey, like, here's my PayPal account, throw me a couple of bucks my way. Hey, I just started, whatever. They'll introduce some kind of a project that they're doing, and they'll raise money for it before starting the project, but they never really quite deliver on it, or what they deliver is really beneath what it is that they propose. And they keep doing this repeatedly. They'll keep asking for more and more money, and a lot of people will take that as, well, you're trying to avoid getting an actual job. Like, you're just asking people to get, you're panhandling online.
But that's most people who do that though. So.
Right. So my thing is like, is that inherently a bad thing. Like, I don't see myself doing it because I prefer to work for a living, but to people but this isn't my job. To people for whom this is a job, their justification would be, look, this is how you make your money in the office. You make your money,
living.
Whatever. And this is how I make my money on engineering doing this. I'm devoting 8 hours a day to this.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is if they're having to beg and plead for money, then they should probably change their line of work. I mean, if it means you're not doing a good enough job to, get the people to hear you or get, backers to give you the money you need to do your show or your podcast or whatever you're doing. And so you're begging and pleading for money and, trying to pull at the heartstrings of people to give you the money through whatever. I mean, it's stupid that they have to do that. But I mean, if that's what they choose to do, let it be. But it's, find a job that's going to pay you. Get a 9-to-5 job or a part-time job or something. There's plenty of jobs out there you can do to make some money to do your other things. Yeah, Dairy Queen, $12 an hour. Hell, I'll try for it. If that's all I have, I was like, hey, I'll do Dairy Queen for $12 an hour. It's more than I make now.
Yeah.
It's just a food place. People think of food places as horrible. They are.
Yeah, you got to put a lot in this. I think they're underpaid for what they have to deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to like the e-bag and stuff, the criticism I see of it isn't so much that, you're asking people to finance your project that you're doing. The problem people have is when you're doing it in access and what you're putting out isn't worth the money that you're collecting. Yes. If you're collecting thousands of dollars to do what we're doing here, which we don't get paid to do, you don't need thousands of dollars to do what
I mean, that's the thing.
You just don't. You can't justify that to me.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is if you're begging and pleading and you're not delivering on what you say you're going to do, you shouldn't do it. That's simple as that. You shouldn't have the funding given to you. If you don't deliver on your promise, you should give back the money. That's really what it is. If I said I'm going to, build a studio, I need, $100,000 or whatever the hell, yes, 100,000. I said that's a weird number. To build a studio. If I get that money, you're damn sure I'm going to make a studio, something that's going to be, really well made with all the money I can get. If, I say I'm going to write a book and I need, $2,000 to get it published, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to be like, okay, well, cool. I just did self-publish and, it only cost me $500. It's like, no. If it only cost me $500, everyone else is going to get their money back.
But I will tell you, if anybody is collecting money to self-publish a book, I will tell you from my personal experience, it costs you nothing other than the time you spend writing the book. Yeah. So you're getting scammed on that.
No, it's a statement.
I understand what you're saying.
That, but some people they're going to try to get it published, and then they end up just self-publishing it. Yeah. Because they got the money they need, and then they're going to spend that on, whatever else. I bought myself a new computer. Like, well, that's not what you said you're going to do. I mean, that's the thing. If you're not delivering on your promise, then you shouldn't be taking the money. You should return all the money that you took. Simple as that. It could be $1, it could be $1,000, it could be $1 million.
If 1,000 people gave you $1, you give 1,000 people $1 back.
Yeah.
It's what people will come up with ideas like, look, traditionally speaking, when you had a project, what you do is you find investors to invest in you, and you're accountable to them. You do owe them the money if you don't deliver. However, if you're accepting donations aren't owed back. So that's, I think, what people see sort of the sneaky thing about it. They see it sort of shady. You're trying to get around actually being accountable for the money that you're collecting.
Yeah.
So if you say, like, I'm going to produce an album, my own album is going to be in this genre, and let's say you have fans, and the way you want to do is like you'll collect donations and you tell me it's going to have whatever 15 tracks, it's going to be good, you had some sample albums on there that got people interested, but at the end you deliver 5 songs, and you said you're going to deliver 12 tracks in a 1 year period. You deliver 5 songs after 3 years and an album, and the tracks are pretty much the same thing that the samples you put out before, maybe like 2 minutes longer. You didn't deliver what there's a reason why you couldn't get invested in that, and and everyone sort of, you're not going to be seen as respectable.
Yeah.
So, and that gives a bad name to the people who might actually use this medium. They might use, these sort of donations, and who are honest about it and who will do good with the donations that they get, but it tarnishes their name, that entire venture, because these bad apples give it a bad name, and I think that's sad, because the online medium provides so many avenues for people to break into, if something like producing your own music or something like that it doesn't need a bad actors tarnishing any avenue that aspiring up and comers might be able to make use of.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is, I mean,
and that's what the whole selling out.
You're gonna promise someone something, you're gonna have to deliver on it, and as simple as that. I mean, just that it's not selling out if you're begging for the money, but as long as you're delivering on what you promise. Now, I think it'd be selling out if you said something, you promised one thing, you get the money you need, and then you just turn around and it's like, oh, well, I didn't get it done, but thank you for the money. I was like, you're selling out. I was like, oh, yeah, well, thanks to these guys and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't able to get exactly what I wanted,
Yeah, and just saying
you're doing a round, bout or whatever, well, just to say sorry and I took all your money, haha.
And even if you say something like, no, I'm working on it, it's coming out eventually. No, I'm sorry. You said this time period.
Yeah.
You didn't deliver on that time period.
Yeah.
It's a problem. If you're especially like if you got a lot of money, you have nothing. What else are you worried about? If you need more money to sustain your livelihood and do this project, then you didn't do the math right. When how much money you collected. You should have done that beforehand. Anytime you go to look for investors, like the traditional route of raising money for anything, these are all graphs you should already have worked out. And if you don't, you're not getting a cent.
Yeah.
But something popped in my head as we were talking just now. You were saying like you owe people something. Let's broaden that again to like this established celebrities. The idea always comes up: do musicians? Let's stick with musicians and actors. Do they owe something to the fans because they're in a career field in which the fans are really what make them their money? Like if nobody buys your product, you don't make a living. So like someone like Leonardo DiCaprio would say, like they'll ask him, like, do you get agitated if fans want to take pictures with you or something like that? Because a lot of actors, they do, and I totally understand. Sometimes you need your privacy.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio is someone who's on record saying like, no, because without them I'd be nothing. Like not like nothing, but I wouldn't be Leonardo DiCaprio. I wouldn't be someone anyone gives a damn about.
Yeah.
But and I know sometimes you can push that expectation too far. Like you don't need to take a selfie with a damn actor there anytime you bump into them if they just want to be left alone with their family.
Yeah, that's just, and I mean that's the thing is if they are like, we're sticking with actors. If an actor is on the street walking, doing their thing, I think you should just leave them alone. Personally, I mean, they're just people. Yes, they're famous in the sense that they're on TV, they're making money, making a crap load more money than all of us, but it doesn't give the regular person the right to run up there and like, hey, give me your picture. Hey, what are like paparazzi does and TMZ and all them people.
Fuck TMZ.
There's no need for them to do that. They're out living their life. They got to eat as well. They want to go train. They want to do whatever they're doing. Let them be. Yeah, if they're on the red carpet or they're somewhere as an event, yes, they're there as an actor. They're there doing their job. Bug them in that sense. Taking pictures with them, do whatever you want to do.
When will you
just leave them alone in a sense on the thing? Same for any artist. A lot of the times musicians, they love their fans. They're going to go out. They're going to do all their pictures and stuff like that. But half of the time, they're left alone because no one knows who the hell they are on the street.
Except the real hardcore fans.
It's like you see people just walking around the street and it's like, oh, hey, that guy looks familiar, but, don't really know. And then you see him on stage, like, oh, hey, I met that guy, whatever, and stuff like that. Because I've run into some celebrities and stuff, musicians and actors, and I don't get all like, oh my God, I need a picture, give me a picture. And it's like, no, I can give a crap less. It's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, I like your stuff, good job. And I leave them alone. That's just me. That's my mindset, because I do believe they're just people, and you should leave them be. Yeah, you can talk to them, as long as they're not going to be an asshole and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm better than you. Just talk to them regular. They're just people.
Well, you mentioned like if they are doing the actual promotion and stuff like that, like they talk to. But a lot of regular people, you're not gonna be anywhere near.
Yes.
Then when I do it, so like when you like run into an actor, or musician, or celebrity on the street, that might be the closest you're ever gonna just by chance.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is, yes, it's hard to run into them and stuff like that, but it really depends where you're at. Like, I mean, if you're in California, you can bump into them left and right. They're all over the place. That's mainly where a lot of them live. You know, if you run into them here in Texas, it's a little different. You're like, oh, hey, I know you. You're this thing. You're doing that. Hey, Lance Armstrong. You don't expect to see him unless...
Because we live in Austin, so you might actually run into Lance Armstrong.
Unless you know they live here in Austin or in Texas or whatever, you're don't expect to see them. Mm-hmm. Like, Bill Murray. I was doing South by, and he pops in one of the bars that, the place I was working. I was like, oh, hey, I didn't expect to see you. Hey, how's it going? I like your stuff. No, I left. I was like, I'm tired. I'm going home. Instead of, I'm going to hang out with you guys. Like half of the people did. I was like, no. I was like, I met you good, shook your hand. Now I have a story to tell. Like, you don't have any reference or pictures or anything. And I'm not going to be, hey, look, I met you. It's like, no, I met him. This is what I did. I left. Simple as that.
Well, some people get more starstruck involuntarily than others, especially if it's somebody you really care about. Like if you ran into like Prince when he was still alive, when he was dead now. If you ran into Prince, well, you probably more, oh my God, it's Prince, than you would be like if it's whoever else.
Yeah, but I mean, I've ran into some people that artists and stuff that I've actually liked their music, like Memphis Mayfire. I like their music. I ran into them. I met them. I helped them unload their vehicle, to do their set. I helped them move everything, did everything stuff with them. And I was like, oh my God, guys. I was like, no. I was like, okay, hey, yeah, I'm here to do a job. Let me do the job. Same thing with Travis McCoy from Gym Class Heroes. I like that guy. I like the band and everything else. All I was like, hey man, I liked your show. Thank you for letting me see it. Thank you for letting me work it. That was it. I was like, oh my God, hey, can I autograph you here? I was like, no, I'm here to do a job. This is what I'm doing. I'm done. I was like, I can care less. You're a person. You're here to do your job. You're here to entertain. When you're done doing that, as long as you're not a complete asshole, we're cool. I'm not going to bug you. You're not going to worry about me trying to bug you.
It's funny how you can form your opinion on somebody sometimes, because you can run into a celebrity and they could have shaken hands, been totally nice for 10 to 20 people before they ran into you. But then they reach the 21st person and they're getting tired and they're getting groggy, then they come into you and they're kind of standoffish, and then your opinion is forever formed. Wow, that guy, that celebrity is an asshole. Yeah. But little do you know, they spend 20 people being the most charming person alive. It's like whenever you work at customer service. You can do the best job with every single customer that comes to the door, and then there's that one customer that you don't, it's not that you have an attitude with. You're not as on game as you are with anybody else. You're not on point with it.
Or they have an attitude. You're trying to be nice back, but
you can't keep it up as well as you did with the 20 before that.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, but that's the impression that's left.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you're not good at customer service.
Even
though you were great before.
That's a whole different
that's a whole different thing.
Because I mean, it's you're dealing with customer service. Anyone who's ever dealt with it, the horror stories. You're trying to do your best. You do what you can, and you get customers who think they deserve everything, and they go after it and they yell and they scream and they whatever they can to get everything they can free, and you're just trying to do your best damn job, and they'll say, oh well, this guy's horrible, bad customer service, oh the store sucks and did it, and I was like, okay, you came in with the attitude that you deserve everything, and we're doing our best to help you out, but we're not gonna give you free products or anything, because that's gonna cause us trouble and you're not worth it, stuff like that. I've had customers working over there at the thingy and they're just terrible. They're yelling, they're screaming, they're asking for managers, they're doing everything impossible that they can possibly do to get whatever they can, get their way, and then the managers show up and it's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, you don't have the things that we need, or this product is torn, we can't accept that. If I went to your job and did the same thing, would you appreciate it? And that usually calms down the customer, or it pisses them off more, and I think it's hilarious.
Do you think that there's now an analogy there between how musicians have to deal with us, the customers. Sometimes like they have to work for, but some make a name for themselves, not giving a shit about us as a customer. Like Axl Rose was a douche, so it's
I mean,
every single fan he's ever had.
That's the thing is, I mean, certain people, certain celebrities are known for being a certain way. I mean, Axl Rose, he's been a douche. Anyone's ever met him said he's a douche. He's a whiny little, douchebag who, if he doesn't get his way, he throws a hissy fit. Same thing for Courtney Love. I mean, people know her as the queen of all just
bitches.
Douchebaggery and just like go out there.
As we say in Britain, cunt.
And I've seen it in firsthand, which I kind of thought was weird because she came in, she was yelling at her manager, she was yelling at a bunch of people, but yet not once did she yell at me or any other fan, anybody she didn't know. She didn't talk to me. She wasn't like pleasant or anything with me, but I mean, she pretty much ignored me. But that's the thing is she threw the biggest diva tantrum I've ever seen in my life, about just whatever. And then show started and she was just, all about the fans. Like, oh yeah, the fans. Yeah. She jumped in the crowd and, had a drink with the fans and whatever else. And it was like, okay, well, that's a turn there. She goes from a diva tantrum to it's about the persona,
fans. Man. Once you're on that stage, once there's light, you have to get into your personality, whatever it happens to be. It's like professional wrestling. Yeah, they have characters that you have to get into when it gets into. Real quick,
well, the thing is, I don't think it was her character. I don't think it's a character. I think it's just her.
She's just bipolar.
Yeah.
Real quick though, I'm sure like about the contractual checklist that some musicians do.
Yeah.
Like you have to send what's that one band they like put in there something random, like there needs to be this kind of M&Ms or this kind of bed sheets, this kind of and if it's not there, they see that's evidence with like, oh, you didn't read the whole contract at all.
Yeah.
So I'll work out. I always thought some people say like, oh, that's real smart. I think that's really, really dumb. And I'll say why I think that's dumb, and you can agree or disagree with me in a second. Here's the thing. If I'm the person that's preparing an event and you put some stupid event like only blue M&Ms must be in my waiting room, and it's so insignificant and so meaningless and it doesn't relate to anything, I'd be in line to skip that. Or even if I do it, I think, wow, what a pretentious little shit. Because who gives a fuck about that? Now, if you put demands that actually matter, that's fine. But if you're putting in things like that just to test the venue owner, just to test, the sort of the help, the aids that have been given to you, I think that's tells me a little bit about you, and it's not anything good.
The thing is on that, it's some bands, they do it for, because they want to be a douchebag. Some of them do it because of the fact that they want to make sure that the venue owners and everyone are paying attention. Because if they're not going to pay attention, they're not going to give you, everything in a sense that you ask for in your rider. It's expected that you're not going to get everything in there. I mean, you can't always have everything, but sometimes it's stuff like that where it's like, oh no, I want all my M&Ms separated into red, green, blue, orange, whatever, and I only want all the peanut ones or whatever the hell it is. Sometimes they do that to see, one, is the venue owner paying attention, and two, how far are they willing to go to actually please the artist? Because yes, some of the artists will be a douchebag. It's like, oh, you didn't read my rider. I'm out of here. I'm not doing the performance. You're screwed out of the money, whatever. And someone will be like, hey, we see that you tried your best. We're just, we see what you can do and put the most out there things just to, see what we can get away with. Because there have been bands that said that you put the most ridiculous thing in the rider and see what happens. See what you can get out of it, to be funny. Some of them I've heard the stories that like they're like, yeah, I want 152 teddy bears, in my dressing room when I show up, and they've done it, and they sit there and laugh. It's like, you actually did that? I didn't mean it.
I would, if I get a ridiculous thing, if I was a venue owner and I got a ridiculous thing like that, I would acknowledge that it's in there. I would leave a note acknowledging, hey, I read that thing about your blue M&Ms. No.
Yeah.
I've read it. I just don't give a shit. Like, well, I would give them 148 instead of 150 teddy bears and see if they count them all. Like, just
I mean, stuff like that, and they've the artists, some of them at least understand is like it's not all going to be there. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff is going to be there, but they'll put in there like, ridiculous stuff, and then in the middle of everything they have, this is what I really want in my room, the must-haves or whatever. And so they'll do all this filler and fluff and be like, oh, it's funny, and then in the thing is like, what we really need is bottled waters, we need food, carrots, whatever, however we eat, whatever, blah blah blah, and then 52 strippers, well, it's like you have to read it. It's like, okay, which one do they actually need, or what they, whatever, what are they, looking for, and how much can we get away with not giving them,
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're being really charitable. I know there's some musicians who don't give a shit and see it as a joke, but there is some, I'm pretty sure, like the ones who have a little bit of a bigger head, like the Gene Simmons, and all of them, like they probably throw a hissy fit anytime one curtain is folded the wrong way or anything like that. Like but it all depends, like who it is that you're talking about. You can't make a statement.
The thing is also, I mean, being that I have gone on tour with the band or two, not all venues have the greatest dressing rooms or green rooms. Sometimes it's a closet that's just nasty looking, and there's you ask for all this stuff and you're not going to get it, but you ask for it to be somewhat comfortable because you're sitting in a cramped little thing with 12 band members and whatever else, and you're sitting there just trying to talk out the set and talk whatever you have to do, and you want some comfort, and so you do rely on that writer to like, what, they didn't pay attention, we're not doing the show because I don't want to be stuck in this hellhole.
Well, the being stuck in a hellhole, that's where the whole talk with the people say, like, you're paying your dues. Like when you first start out, you go through hell.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you feel like, well, I've done all that, and I'm at a point now where I should be more comfortable because I've been through all that shit.
And that's the thing is, when you have your writer, that means you've made it big enough to where they have to pay attention to it. If you're nobody and you give them a writer, they'd be like, who the hell are you? We don't even need you here. So you're either going to perform or you're not. We're not going to give you a damn thing on your writer. If you're a known band, you're given a writer, they're going to pay attention to it because, one, you're bringing them onto the venue. Two, you're actually a known band. That's how that works. But anyways.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Oh, so many things to talk about. But so little time, as I can see right there. We seem to be nearing the end of this right here. So, any final words here when selling out? We'll give it a thumb middle somewhere. I guess it all depends on context. I mean, I feel like sometimes we really cheat the conversation because we always go into like, well, on the one hand, we're like the world's worst economists. On the one hand, this will happen. On the other hand, this other thing will happen.
Well, I mean,
but it's hard when you talk about these things. You don't want to say something too conclusive.
No, that's the thing. Is, I mean, selling out is it's a very complicated subject.
It's very
in the
subjective.
Sense
it's
that
very subjective.
You don't know if you're selling, if a band's selling out because they want the money or they're just talking about something that they actually enjoy doing or using their product or whatever. And so it's one of those middle grounds. Is like, which one is it?
Even if they're doing it just for the money, it still depends on your priorities and your purposes whether or not that's a objectively bad thing. Because some people might say there's nothing wrong with that. Make as much money as you want. Others would say stay more pure.
That's the thing, is there isn't anything wrong with it. They sell a product.
If it's to your liking.
No. They sell a product and it works because that product sells. That's simple as that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but in the mindset of some people, that's just bad because they're selling they're selling themselves to make their money. They're being a little whore is pretty much what it is. They're a prostitute.
Right, you doing anything for a buck.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to be a very fair person on this. I will leave it to each individual to decide whether or not they want to shun somebody for what it is they do.
Stick it in the middle, huh?
Well, not even stick in the middle. Look, if it's somebody you already are inclined not to like.
Yeah.
If it's a musician you already don't like or a celebrity you don't like, you're not gonna like her. You're gonna use this as a reason to dislike them.
Yeah.
Like if you see them like doing a Ho-Ho's commercial or something.
Yeah. I mean,
but if it's someone that you do like, you're gonna excuse it away as it's not a big deal. So that's why it doesn't really matter. Like
that's the thing is it depends if you like the person or not, and
if Kim
goes from
Kardashian
there.
and Kanye West do some cheesy ass commercial for a Ford truck, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, what a bunch of fucking sellouts! I hate them." Anyway, but they would have said that whether they did it or not.
Yeah.
If somebody everybody likes did it, all of a sudden it's gonna be like, "Well, look, it's not a big deal. Leave them alone." You know, like they're just doing it, making a living. And we'll do the same thing. Like we can pretend like, oh, we're above all that. We're not above all that. We'll do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like we'll make fun of the people we're going to make fun of anyway for what they do, and we'll refrain from making fun of people we weren't going to make fun of anyway. Like, and because we're flawed apes from sub-Saharan Africa.
Yep.
And that's just how it goes. Natural selection has the wired us a certain way.
Oh yeah.
And you can't find nature.
Anyways.
But what you can do is tune in next week when we discuss a whole different topic.
Yep.
All right, see you guys.
All right, guys. See you.